Westtown Mall, a mighty retail center to behold in Knoxville, Tennessee. While Easttown Mall dies in the shadow, Westtown Mall lives on as a powerhouse for Simon Property Group. Let's step inside and get a look around. Oh, that's cool. With plans dating as far back as the 1960s, Westtown Mall was the first in Knoxville, Tennessee when it was built in 1972. An odd thing to note is that Knoxville was rather late on the dead mall scene, as many towns in eastern Tennessee already had malls well before Knoxville. Cleveland, Chattanooga, Kingsport, even Oak Ridge, just to name a few. However, upon opening, the mall would have Profits, JCPenney, and Miller's as its primary anchors, and then Frankenberger's as a junior anchor. Sears would come into the picture later, giving Knoxville an impressive 5-anchor mall. Westtown Mall would enjoy being the only mall in Knoxville until 1984. When the Easttown Mall opened for business. The mall didn't seem to react to this very much, and for a time, the two malls even managed to coexist throughout the 80s and 90s. However, some changes to the anchors would be occurring at Westtown Mall. Frankenberger's would close down sometime late in the 70s, and would be cleared out for a new food court in the 80s. Miller's would be converted to Hess's in 1987, and then Hess's would close in 1992. Dillard's, however, jumped at this vacancy and would take over Hess's in 1993, along with the vacant Hess's at Easttown Mall. As the 90s came in, it became apparent that the mall would have to update itself to remain competitive against Easttown Mall. JCPenney would close in anticipation of moving to a new anchor pad for the mall's expansion. This expansion would bring a shiny new JCPenney and a Parisian. The old JCPenney would be cut away and subletted, with the lower level being leased to new tenants, while the upper level was converted into Regal Cinemas and Family Entertainment Center. In addition, the parking lot by the old JCPenney pad would be converted into a 6th-floor parking garage. This expansion and renovation was quite massive, and thus this mall became the largest mall in Tennessee. Belk would suddenly swoop in around 2005, and would buy out Profits around that time, converting its now massive store to Belk. Belk would then acquire Envor Parisian in 2006, and this would result in Belk operating 2 stores at the mall, one for the women and the other for men, children, and home goods. Despite all of this, Westtown Mall held its ground and would dominate the market, indirectly killing 3 malls around it. Easttown Mall has just closed and awaits redevelopment. Oak Ridge Mall is now demolished into an outward-facing plaza, and Foothills Mall limps along in the shadow. Simon Property Group had a powerhouse on their hands. As business continued, Simon Property Group saw it fit to overhaul the mall's design and architecture, modernizing it over 2017 and into 2018. Personally, I hate the way modern Simon malls look, but sadly I am in the minority, as this help keeps them all looking fresh and new for shoppers to return to. But then, in fall 2018, Sears announced that it would be closing down at the Westtown Mall, and thus, in January 2019, the store closed its doors for the last time. Fast forward to today. Demolition of the former Sears is underway, and it is expected that Dick's Sporting Goods and Golf Galaxy will come to replace Sears. H&M even announced that they would open a new store in the Westtown Mall in 2020. However, spring 2020 is on hold as Simon ordered all of their malls to be closed down due to the coronavirus pandemic. When they'll reopen, we are unsure of at this time. Nonetheless, I would expect Westtown Mall to continue its dominance in the region as the go-to shopping mall. Here we are, at yet another Simon Mall that's been bleached to hell and back. If you come here on the right day, you might be able to smell the bleach. There is just enough in the way of darkened colors that prevent this mall from being painful to look at on a sunny day. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I'm no fan of Simon aesthetics, or lack thereof. Like that Apple store, there's just very little personality to the mall itself. And if you look at the pictures from Sky City's take on this place back in the day, you might end up a little angered that Simon did this. I suppose a lack of aesthetics is a small price to pay, seeing as the mall is, or at least was, still holding its own on the day I was here. In addition, it's home to the last Radio Shack still within a mall, or so I've been told by the owner, well, the worker there. The two of us had a decent conversation there, and overall, things seemed well and in order there. Now, I did feel like buying something from Radio Shack, and that thing was a SNES Classic. However, I did discover that it was a bootleg when arriving home. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, maybe for Nintendo, but it is still playable and even enjoyable. The only issue is that you have no access to save states like in an official SNES Classic. Ah well. It'll be a good party accessory to break out from time to time. Super Mario, Donkey Kong Country, Zelda, F-Zero, even Gradius 3. All good for couch parties. Anyway, we have a lot of Tennessee malls to see, and I feel we've seen everything this mall has to offer. Radio Shack is pretty cool to see hanging around, but beyond that, I'm just not a big fan of this mall. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Do comment down below on what you liked or didn't like, after dropping a like and perhaps subscribing if you haven't already. Once again, we have a number of Tennessee malls to see, including some real obscure gems few others have covered. Additionally, don't forget about Ko-fi and other social media links in the description of this video. I do hope to see you there. Until next time, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Westtown Mall farewell and good luck in the coming months. Bye.